In the quiet heart of Tasmania, where the Huon River winds through ancient, moss-laden forests and mountains etched against the sky, a forgotten tale of mystery pulses through the undergrowth. The small town of Franklin, cradled by the gentle arms of nature, was home to the eccentric and the content. Here, Eliza, a young woman with an adventurous spirit, lived with her grandmother Mabel, a woman of the old ways and stories. Eliza, whose parents had been fervent researchers of Tasmanian history, had inherited their thirst for knowledge and their diary filled with unfinished tales and cryptic notes. Curiosity was her guide, the lush landscape of her surroundings, her playground. One crisp autumn morning, when the air tasted of the approaching winter, Eliza stumbled upon a diary entry dated back to her mother's youth. The legend of the Huon Whisperer. The notes were scant, but the mystery it proposed was too alluring to ignore. The Whisperer, according to her mother's notes, was an elusive entity or spirit said to roam the forests along the Huon River. The locals, her mother wrote, believed it was a guardian of the land, speaking through the whipping winds and crackling branches to guide or warn those who tread on its paths. Armed with curiosity and subtle skepticism, Eliza sought to uncover more about this enigmatic whisperer. Her first stop was old Jeff, a wiry man with a face as rugged as the Tasmanian peaks and eyes gleaming with the sort of wisdom one earns through many winters. Jeff, who ran the local marina, was tying knots when Eliza approached him. "The Whisperer, you say?" "Ah, that's an old story, my dear," he chuckled, casting a glance towards the thickening woods. "But some stories are rooted deeper than the oldest hewn pine. Beware the woods when the mist descends. That's when the Whisperer speaks." His words were a riddle wrapped in warnings, yet they only fueled Eliza's resolve. Equipped with a recorder, a map, and her innate stubbornness, Eliza ventured into the whispers of the trees. She hiked past ancient pines and over soft, needle-laden paths, where the air was quiet enough to hear the river's song. Hours into the trek, as the sun dipped behind the distant peaks, a creeping mist began to encircle the valley. In the heart of the fog, Eliza felt a palpable shift in the air, a whisper, not through words, but feelings, an inexplicable knowing. She pressed record on her device, her heart pounding with both excitement and the chill of unknown realms. The trees seemed to lean in closer, guardians of a sacred secret. As she focused, a soft, melodious hum, almost inaudible, echoed through the mist. It was neither threatening nor comforting, but profoundly powerful. Eliza listened, entranced. The humming grew into murmurs, ethereal tones that resonated with the whispering wind. Out of the vaporous white, a figure appeared, a mere silhouette at first, indistinct and intertwined with the fog. It moved with a grace that was almost fluid, every motion in perfect harmony with the natural world around it. Eliza held her breath, not out of fear, but in awe. The figure, a manifestation of stories spun through generations, stopped at a distance, its presence a palpable echo in the damp air. "I seek understanding," Eliza spoke into the mist, her voice steady. There was a pause. The whispering ceased, and the fog began to retreat. The figure dissolved as silently as it had appeared, leaving Eliza alone with her recorder and the lingering touch of the unknown. She returned to Franklin, the recording safe in her grasp, filled not just with sounds, but with a newfound respect for the tales that had been whispered by the river. She played the recording for Mabel, who listened, her eyes misting over with a blend of nostalgia and pride. "You've heard what many have forgotten, Eliza. The land speaks to those who listen." The tale of the Huon Whisperer was no longer just a legend penned hurriedly in a diary. It had woven itself into the fabric of her life. A story of respect, wonder, and the eternal dialogue between Ma, En, and nature. With each step she took along the river or through the woods, Eliza now knew the truth was manifold, and myths were merely the truths we hadn't yet understood.